Hey guys, Mr. Vise with the Unit 4 Lesson 8 classwork video. In case you're able to make it to lecture, we always want to make sure we make it to lecture, make it to class, and be there for the live lesson so you can ask questions, you can be more involved, and you can get more learning out that way. But if you weren't able to do that for some legitimate reason, then let's then you should be watching this video, which obviously you are. Okay, so the standard today is solving equations one variable. The objective is I can solve equations with different number of solutions. And for the warm-up, highlight the following multi-step equations with the number of solutions it has. So remember that we talked about different types of solutions yesterday. And so I made a nice little chart for you last time, and I have it here still. A multi-step equation can result in three different types of answers. One solution, x equals a. No solutions, a equals b. Or infinitely many solutions, a equals a. Here are some examples. So you can see in all of these problems, you can isolate the variable. You can solve for x. For these ones, no solution problems, a equals b, they're not equivalent statements. -5 does not equal 5, 10 does not equal 45, and -3 does not equal 5. And then for infinitely many solution problems, you're going to have the same value on both sides. -3 equals -3, -4 equals -4, and -3 equals 3. So these are lines where they cross once. These are lines that they never cross. And these are lines that cross infinitely many times because they're the same line. Okay, so let's go up to the problem up here. And so now let's look at this one. Highlight the following multi-step equations with the number of solutions it has. So you can see that this person has worked out some problems. They multiply, they did a distributive property, they combine like terms, they move over the 12 on both sides, and now you're left with -18 equals -18, which is the same thing on both sides. So therefore, it is infinitely many solutions. They are parallel lines that they're the exact same line. So they are on top of each other at all times. So -18 equals -12 for this one. That means that they're parallel lines also, but they never cross. So that would be no solutions. And then for the last one, you can see it works out, and it solves for, you solve for x there. You get x equals 6 over 4. So you're able to isolate the variable. So that's a one solution problem. If you're able to solve for x, that's one solution problem. One solution, okay? Okay. So make sure you can pause the video if you want to catch up. So now for the 8.2, make use of structure. For each multi-step equation, highlight if it has no solutions, exactly one solution, or has infinitely many solutions. If the equation has one solution, solve to find the value that makes the statement true. Okay? So now, here, there's no parentheses, there's no combining like terms, because there's only two terms on each side, and they're different terms. So I'm going to subtract 6 on both sides. So 6x plus 8 equals 7x plus 13. I'm going to subtract 6 on both sides. 8 equals x plus 13. Right? Subtract 13. Subtract 13. So you get -5 equals x. Right? -5 equals x. So you just type that in. So 8 equals, let me remove the highlighting from everything. So 8 equals x plus 13. So subtract 13 on both sides, and you get -5 equals x. So you're able to isolate the variable, so therefore that's a one solution problem. So I'm gonna highlight that. Okay, guys, so now for the next one, 6x plus 8 equals 2x plus 8. Now 6x plus 8 equals 2 times 3x plus 4. So let's do that one to clear the canvas. So 6x plus 8 equals 2 times 3x plus 4. 6x plus 8 equals 2x plus 8. Subtract 6 on both sides. Subtract 6 on both sides. So you get 8 equals 8. So you're going to get 6x plus 8 is equal to 6x plus 8. Subtract 6 on both sides, and you get 8 equals 8. So therefore, it's the same thing on both sides. So they are the same line, so they cross infinitely many times. Okay. So now let's clear the canvas. So go to the next one. 6x plus 8 equals 6x plus 13. Subtract 6x on both sides, and you get 8 equals 13. Okay. So 8 equals 13. Those are different solutions. So that means that they're parallel lines that don't cross. So no solution. It's a false statement. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next problem. So 5x plus 3x minus 2 is equal to 8x minus 2. So you see how these two are the same? They are both x's, and they're both on the same side, the same term on the same side. So you get 8x minus 2 is equal to 8x minus 2. Subtract that on both sides. Remove the for some reason there's a bunch of black highlighting on this. So 8x minus 2 is equal to 8x minus 2. And then clear the canvas. Oh no, I don't need to clear canvas yet. I gotta finish the problem. Subtract 8x on both sides. -2 equals -2. Okay. So -2 equals -2. And so that's a true statement. That means that they're the same line, so they cross infinitely many times. Okay. For the canvas. So it's going to be the same step again. So I combine 3x and 5x to make 8x plus 4 equals 8x minus 2. Subtract the 8x on both sides, and you get 4 equals -2. The false solution, so that's false. That means that there are parallel lines that never cross. So that's no solutions. Okay. Now for the last one, 5x plus 4x plus 2 equals 8x minus 2. Combine these two to make 9x plus 2 equals 8x plus 2. So these two become combined there. Subtract 8x. X plus 2 is equal to -2. Subtract the 2 on both sides. X equals -4. Okay, subtract the x on both sides, x plus 2. I don't put 1x because an x by itself already means an x by itself already means 1x. I don't need to put that. So x equals -4, which is a one solution answer. since you're able to solve for the variable. Okay, guys, let's clear the canvas and do the next problems. So here it's getting a little more difficult. Here we can see that there's double distributive properties on both sides. You can see that there's a 2x minus 2 on one side and an x minus 2 on the other side. They're inside parentheses. So it's getting a little more difficult as we go on. So 4 times 2 is 8. X. 4 times 2 is negative 8. And then plus 2. 4 times x is 4x minus 2. So there we got to combine like terms. You see here, these are the same. They're both constants. They're numbers. So 8x minus 6 is equal to 4x minus 2. Subtract the 4x on both sides. 4x minus 6 is equal to negative 2. And then add the 6. So we're going to get... Oh, I see a mistake there. Should be 8 here. Should be 8. 8. So it should be negative 8. So that looks weird. Let's erase that. So negative is going to be negative 8. So it's going to be 4x equals negative 2. So it's going to be x equals negative 1/2. So now 4x, so let me erase that. That's always I don't know how that got on there. So 4x minus 8 plus 2 is equal to 4x minus 8. That's going to be 8x minus 2. Combine like terms, 8x minus 6 is equal to 4x minus 8. Subtract the 4 on both sides, and you're going to get 4x minus 6 is equal to negative 8. Add the 6 to both sides, you get 4x equals negative 2. And then divide by 4 on both sides, you get x equals negative 1/2. And I got a little sloppy at the end because I ran out of room. But I moved my webcam, so it's good to go. Okay. So it's going to be the same thing kind of here. And I'm going to do it over here real quick. So 4x plus 2 times 2 is 4x minus 6. And then 8 times x is 8x minus 8. Combine like terms, you see that there's a 4x and a 4x on the same side there. 8x minus 6. Combine them to 8x equals 8x minus 8. And then you're going to subtract the 8x on both sides. You get negative 6 equals negative 8, which is a false statement. So that's going to be a no solution. That means that they're parallel lines that never cross. So do that. This is going to be a 1 solution. Forgot to highlight that. This is a no solution. And so, okay, do that. Now for this one, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to just multiply the parentheses in, combine like terms. So you can see they're very similar problems, except they're a little different towards the end because they all have a little bit difference. So 8x minus 8 plus 2. Combine the 4x's together to get 8x minus 6. 8x minus 6. 8 minus 2 is 8x. Subtract the 8x's on both sides, and you're going to get negative 6 equals negative 6, which is a true statement. So therefore is infinitely many solutions. That means that they're the same line that cross an infinite amount of times. Okay. So we're almost done. Okay, so we're on our last problems, and these are more difficult. So if you got this far and you're doing a good job so far, that's great, but these are going to be a little more difficult because they're going to involve some negatives multiplication. So you see this is a minus 3. It's going to be negative 3 times negative 2 with positive 2, which is negative 6. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9x equals 10x plus 4. So you see how there's two x's here? X means 1x, so it's going to be 10x minus 6 is equal to 10x minus 6. Subtract the 10x on both sides. And you're going to get that cancels, that cancels, that cancels, that cancels. You're going to get negative 6 equals negative 6, which is a true statement. And that means that they're the same line, so they cross infinitely many times since they're the same line. Same issue with that black highlight. I gotta get rid of that. Let's do that right now. So x minus 6 plus 9x is equal to 10x plus 6. 10x minus 6 is equal to... Oh, I changed that to I see a mistake there. So I changed this to, this should be a plus 3. So let's change that. So this should be a plus 3. That should be a 6. That should be a plus 6. That should be a plus 6. So this should be 10x 6. Negative 6 equals positive 6. So since negative 6 does not equal positive 6, the answer is no longer infinitely many solutions. The answer is no solution, so because that means that they're parallel lines that never cross. There you go. Okay, so we have 2 more problems. So I'm going to clear my canvas now. Okay, so now x minus 3 is equal to 2 plus 3x is equal to 2 times 5x minus 3. So now, there we go. So now it's still negative 3, so we're going to multiply negative number to 2, so it's going to be negative 6. It's going to be a negative times a positive is a negative 9x is equal to 10x minus 6, right? So write that down. Don't forget that you're multiplying negative, so you got to keep that. You got to think about what a negative times a negative is. Negative times negative positive. Negative times positive is negative. So it's going to be negative. So this is a positive 1 and negative 9. So it's going to be a negative 8x minus 6 equals 10x minus 6. We can add the 8x to both sides. So negative 6 equals 18x minus 6. So combine like terms, then add the 8x to both sides. So add the 6 to both sides. 0 equals 18x. So what that means is that some number times 18 is 0. So the only number times 18 that can be 0 is 0. So the answer is 0 on this one. And some people think about, is that a no solution answer? No, 0's a number. 0's a number. You can have nothing of something. I have nothing in my hand right now except for air. I have no M&Ms or candy or anything that I would like to be eating right now, right? I'm not eating anything right now. So that's nothing. It's a quantity. So that's a one solution. So okay. So I'm gonna clear the canvas. Okay, so I'm gonna get, so last problem, x minus 3 times 2 minus 3x is equal to 2 times 5x minus 3. Okay. Multiply the negative 3 inside. It's going to be negative 6 plus 9x equals 10x minus 6. The x plus 9x is 10x minus 6. So let me show you a shortcut here. So once you have the same thing on both sides of your equation, you could stop right there and make a statement. I'll say that again. Once you have the same thing on both sides of your equation, you can stop there and just go straight to an answer. And that answer is infinitely many solutions, because that means that they're the exact same line that they cross an infinite many times, because they're the exact same thing, right? You can take it one further step down and put negative 6 equals negative 6 and put infinitely many solutions. You can do that too, but you can stop once you have the same thing on both sides. You can stop and say the answer is infinitely many solutions. Oop. You hear some people, if you under can hear my wife talking right now. But anyways, that ends the lesson. So hopefully that you're watching the video. If you missed the classwork and you your extra ticket, east and west is going to be due Friday, and north and south will do Monday. Have a good day.